You know, when I think about 2 years ago, think about where we were. When I think about 3 years ago, where we were, how much things have changed, whether we're talking about status, relationships, communities, whether it's growth and investment or divestment, whether it is power structures, or even looking at this land. How much has changed? And I think about the last time that many of us were together when we're talking about the last time Jose and Amy and Senator Nina Turner, when we were all together. When we talk about the times that we were able to go around this country and give the good word about this being a moment that was our moment, is our moment to take. But it was part of a movement. It wasn't just for that moment. It wasn't just for that time. It wasn't just for that year. Because look at what has happened. Have lives gotten better? Have the things that we've worked for and talked about and preached on and taught on and demanded of our legislators, have those things really changed? And so I want to first honor those that are behind me, that are standing behind me right now, and for all the work that you all have done to be able to get us here to this place. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for what you're about to do, because the world don't even understand what's about to come from every single person that's standing behind us, standing behind me, and also to the youth, because you have a mandate on you that's different than the one that we have. So thank you for standing up for the cause. You know, and I have to say, as I look at how beautiful, we look at how beautiful, you know, this landscape is, but oh, I wonder how beautiful it was years ago. I wonder what it looked like. I wonder what was the thought process of those who were in positions of power to be able to bring about a change, to be able to make sure we didn't get here where there is a bathtub ring. What did they do and what didn't they do? You know, I'm so excited though to be able to be here with these amazing people, these true champions, and for my dear sister, Amy Vilela. You know, this space screams, screams, I have a need. And it also screams, we have the people who are here to fix the need, all in the same space. So I want to appreciate that right now. Not just folks that sign their name on the dotted line, not just folks that'll say I support something, but folks that are actually already doing the work to be able to bring about that change. This space where we have three progressive women coming together for a better future. This space, as beautiful it is, as beautiful as we see, but also how sad this space is. Because we know that the climate crisis is here. It's melting power lines in the Pacific Northwest. It's killing people, black and brown people, especially in places like my home in St. Louis, where we are facing 11 more 90-degree days per year than the year I was born, where black kids in St. Louis make up 10 times the number of trips to the ER for asthma from polluted, poisoned air. Texas is freezing over. California is on fire. And Nevada is burning up. If we allow the current crisis happening right here at Love Mead to worsen, the effects on this region will be disastrous. I have asthma, and there are moments when I'm struggling to breathe in air, this air that gets hotter and hotter, this air that becomes more toxic every single year. Too many of us are struggling to survive This is the reality we live in because a handful of wealthy and powerful few are putting profit over humanity, over our lives and our livelihoods. And they know exactly what they're doing. They've known for years. The executives of companies like Exxon, like Chevron, they did some of the earliest research on climate change, and they knew that this was a problem. They just didn't care. They didn't care what they were doing to St. Louis, and they didn't care what they would be doing to Nevada. How monstrously, horrifically evil for them to condemn our children and grandchildren to grow up in a world that gets scarier and more dangerous every passing day. They knew the product they were selling polluted our planet and killed people. They didn't care because those CEOs, they needed that second yacht. They needed that third private jet. It's disgusting that every single year we keep setting a new heat record. We're seeing the consequences already, and it's only going to get worse in the years to come. These wealthy and these powerful few they were talking all about the kinds of folks. We're talking all about the kinds of folks who fund campaigns of corporate Democrats and don't want people like us to win. They're the kinds of folks who prioritize Mitch McConnell and prioritize Joe Manchin over the people in our communities who need help the most. That's what we're talking about. I've been in Congress just over a year, and I've already seen the ways that they're in the pockets of lawmakers in both chambers. Driven by greed, they have bribed our government into inaction in the face of catastrophe. And I'm tired of it. My hometown, my St. Louis is tired of it. Nevada is tired of it. Nevada is saying, but who? Who? Who is there that will stand up? Who is there that won't care if their reputation has to be on the line? Who is the one? Because we deserve so much better. So who is it we deserve? Because we deserve better than the devastation being unleashed on our communities by the marriage of corporate greed and policy violence. We deserve the world that young climate activists across our country are pushing for. The world that Senator Nina Turner and I are pushing for. The world where people said it can't happen and you all need to quit talking about it, but we keep pushing anyway. The world that Amy Vilela is pushing for. We're pushing for a world in which all of us can thrive, a world defined not by environmental racism, but by environmental justice, a world where our public lands are protected and not exploited, a world where we can name whose land it is. And so we honor this land that we know is not ours. A world in which our kids can drink clean water and breathe clean air, working a job that pays well and gives them dignity with no black lungs ever again. We can do it. And that's why I'm here today, because there aren't enough of us regular, everyday folks in Congress, and I know there's not enough of us who are willing to stand up, who are willing to push back, who are willing to push back again and again and again, who are willing to do more than just say we support, or who are willing to do more than just show up. We need those who are willing to put our minds, our reputations, our bodies on the line to achieve justice for our communities. That's why I'm here today, because that's what Amy Vilela will do when she's elected to the United States Congress. Amy and I are similar. Senator Nina Turner and I and Amy, we are all similar, and we cherish the friendship that we have. Amy's a regular, everyday person who knows what it's like to live the struggles of those in our communities who have the least, who has experienced the most pain from policy violence that harms too many of us. She knows that pain. She knows the pain of what it means to live unhoused or to survive domestic violence. She suffered an unspeakable loss that no parent, no human should ever have to endure at the hands of greedy corporations that prioritize their bottom line over our humanity. I know who Amy is, and I know what drives her. So please hear me when I tell you we need Amy in Congress. If you want a member of Congress who feels that fierce urgency of addressing climate change, who understands the pain of environmental racism, and who has a personal stake in building a better world for our kids and our grandkids, send Amy Vilela to Congress. Because if I've learned anything during my time in D.C., it's not that every Democrat is the same. Talking the talk and walking the walk are two different things. Amy Vilela walks the walk. Nevada needs Amy Vilela in Congress pushing. I need her to push with me for a more just and a more viable future for all of us. We need Amy Vilela in the United States Congress because she will not rest until we pass a Green New Deal. A Green New Deal for cities, a Green New Deal for schools, and a Green New Deal for public housing until we transform our society. That's why I came out here, and that's why I think this election is critical. Please, please support Amy and come out. We need you to come out and show up. That's why I'm here, because we have a chance to shape history. And let me say lastly, it's not good enough to be the one to say that I support. Because when you have a child playing ball and you say, I support you, son, I support you, daughter, I support you, but you never show up, you never put on a t-shirt, you never show up, you're never actually there, you're never actually fighting, you're never a part of the conversations when the days are good and when the days are bad. We need someone like Amy Vilela who will do it all and put everything on the line for us. And now, the reason why we are all here is because the 1st Congressional District of Nevada has the opportunity for something life-changing. And I'm calling it life-changing because I know what happens when you put someone with fire and with vigor, with new eyes to see and vision, who is not afraid to go after those things, what happens when you put them in the seat. And so, let us now welcome my sister, our sister, the one for Nevada's 1st Congressional District, Amy Vilela.